We're here at the GOP convention with Chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Darrell, Issa, and I've heard a lot of people say that if Mitt Romney gets elected, the Fast and Furious scandal is going away. What do you have to say about that?
Well, the scandal can't go away. Congress was lied to. There was a cover-up. Attorneys were involved who have an obligation to be held accountable. People have lied to Congress. That's perjury. They're going to be held accountable. But most importantly, the false claim of executive privilege has to be resolved. Katie, a wonderful young lady, but long before you were born, Richard Nixon was told to turn over his own tapes and evidence of his cover-up, his being part of Watergate and the cover-up that came afterwards. Supreme Court ruled that. That should have told Eric Holder he had no right to try to claim, and President Obama, to claim executive privilege in the case of Fast and Furious, the cover-up of it. Obviously, they didn't get the message. We need a fresh decision by a federal judge that you cannot, in fact, claim executive privilege for your own criminal wrongdoing.
So we have the Inspector General's report has been delivered to the Department of Justice. As you know, there was a conflict of interest with Tracy Schneider, who was the Inspector General prior to, I believe it was May of this year, worked under Attorney General Eric Holder during his time as U.S. Attorney in Washington, D.C. How objective do you really think this report is going to be when we get to see it?
Well, both of the Inspectors General are very close to Eric Holder, and there may be some conflict if they were actually looking at the Justice Department. But as we expect when they get done reviewing it, this is mostly about blaming the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, the ATF. And our report is already out. It seriously does blame ATF for their failures, but it then begins to look at how were they allowed to do it? How was an OCDF, a joint task force, formed? How was it funded? How were the wiretaps approved? And all of that came out of Maine Justice, something we don't expect to see in the report.
Great. Thanks so much for your time. Looking forward to work. Thank you. All right.